us for our new name. Mom believed that Sir Francis Drake had heirs. Who's to say he didn't?
You're serious, aren't you?
Nathan, we were meant for this. And I promise, you and me together, we're gonna go far. So what do you say? Nathan Drake?
That's right, and they did go far, uncovering the great secrets of the world one by one while defeating some of the most evil characters in video gaming history. But there's one story left to be told with Uncharted 4 single player DLC. The last time we shall see this beautiful world and be the full goodbye hopefully Uncharted deserves. Here are 4 ideas I would love to see in the DLC. This is the Pork Chopper, and enjoy. Now first is one of the most logical is having Sam and Sully DLC after the event of Uncharted 4. They are still living the high adventure lifestyle and is a gap left in Uncharted 4 to be told. This reminds me of The Last of Us, where Ellie referred to Riley a lot and also how she was affected, but we never got to see it until the Left Behind DLC came out. It makes sense, however I'm not too much of a fan of this idea. The reason why is basically without Nathan Drake, I don't really see myself enjoying Sam that much at all, and more of his and Sully's issues have been resolved by the end of the game, so there's not much to really work on that front. At the start, Sully dislikes Sam getting Nate back into the lifestyle, but by the end they see more to eye. There's just so much more in this Uncharted universe they can expand that the hardcore fans would love. On the topic of hardcore fans, they love nothing more than a bit of fan service. I don't know, just having Chloe or Cutter back in the DLC made us work just fine. Now I don't expect Cutter back at all, however Chloe with Nate looking into their past before the event of Uncharted 2 would be fantastic. It was always left unanswered what happened between the first 2 games, and this would be a great chance to show that. I get why Chloe wasn't in Uncharted 4, and it was just more of a personal story of the 2 brothers, and it's quite unlikely this would be the DLC because it really doesn't have any connection to Uncharted 4 itself, but nonetheless it would be great to see as fans of the universe. The third idea is, well, pretty simple. Having Sully in his prime teaching Nate or even both brothers the ropes on just a little adventure would be great to see them bond and just well have a damn young Sully is much needed after the tease we got in Uncharted 3 all those years back. I feel this is more likely to happen simply because it connects to Uncharted 4, and secondly it also provides fan service and back history to the Uncharted universe, which we all desperately want. Now you could somehow connect Sully teaching Nate and Nate teaching Cassie the odd thing like a flashback, something they did with the Left Behind, but I think this just confuses it, and I would rather leave the ending how it was in Uncharted 4 and just focus on Sully being badass again. Now my final idea is something I would personally love to see. It doesn't have anything to do with the characters but more of Uncharted 4's history, and that's reliving the moments that Libertalia was destroyed firsthand. Being a founder or just a random pirate and seeing the revolt and the founders turn on each other one by one would be fantastic. The gameplay would be completely different also, adding more sword fights in. Those useless pirate weapons you see in the game can actually be used properly in this DLC. It would want me to replay Uncharted 4 again just to see the difference of what Nate and Sam discover compared to what it's like back in its heyday. Also they could use assets from the game itself, the exact street that Sam and Nate walk by in the game would be great to see that back in its heyday. Like I said, it would be fantastic just to see the comparisons as they even refer to in the game itself, so I think there's definitely room there to do. Either way, I feel one of these will definitely be the DLC. For when it will be announced, my guess, like many others, is PlayStation Experience and a release date of very early next year. If you remember when The Last of Us came out around mid-June and the DLC came out Valentine's Day, I expect the same period for Uncharted 4, saying that the PS4 probably takes a lot longer and more resources to create, but I'm happy waiting either way, especially if they're working on a whole nother game as well and already supporting Uncharted 4 multiplayer wise. I'm sure they have their hands very much full. That's it for today's video guys. I will next week be making a video on my expectations for PlayStation Experience overall, but if you enjoyed today's video, support me by subscribing and sharing is very much appreciated if you enjoy my content. Anyway, I'll see you next time.